fitness friends, Stephanie here, and today I want to talk to you just a little bit about how to set up a home gym on a budget. But before we get started, go ahead and make sure you hit that subscribe button so that I can continue to bring you some free content. Getting started on a budget can be really tricky. Now, it's January as I'm recording this, and this is the time of year that a lot of us have some fitness resolutions, and maybe we're not quite sure where to start in terms of stocking our home gyms. So I'm going to give you some ideas of equipment that you can use for your home workout that isn't going to break the bank. So the good news here is that you don't need a ton of money to get in a great workout. The first thing that you're going to need is a little bit of space in your house to actually have your workout. So I find it's nice to have a dedicated space, whether it's a full room or a home studio, or even just a little corner in a bedroom or your family room, just a space that you can dedicate to your workouts. So that's where you can keep all of your things. You know that that is your workout space, and you're not necessarily always having to try to find a space in your house when you want to work out. So if that is not a carpeted space, the first thing you're going to want is a mat. So I have a really big mat for my workouts today. You don't need to have a huge one like this. Any kind of mat will do. So this is just your basic yoga mat. You can find these pretty much anywhere. I would highly suggest maybe looking at a big box or discount store like Marshall's and TJ Maxx. Usually have some pretty good mats at pretty good prices as well. So you really don't need to spend much more than like $15 on a good yoga mat. You don't need to buy a really fancy high-end one if you're just getting started. So once you've got your surface figured out, one of the next things you might want to look at purchasing for your home gym is some rubber resistance. There are so many options out there, and so many of them can be found for a pretty decent price. So you can buy a long flat band. I use these all the time for my strength training workouts. They're fantastic because you can get your whole body doing various exercises with just this one piece of equipment. And the great thing about resistance bands is that they're packable, so if you are going on vacation, you can really easily stash one into your suitcase. So for the resistance bands, you can usually find like a pack of 3 different resistance online. Five Below has resistance bands, like a 3-pack for $5. You can choose a long band like this, or they also make tubes with handles. I find that these generally tend to come in a little heavier resistance. This is a nice option, and again, you can find these for fairly cheap. Any big box store, discount store, online, Amazon has them. If you're looking for a little bit more out of your rubber resistance, they do sell kits. So I got this one off Amazon a while back, and it has a whole bunch of varying resistance tubes, and it has, each tube has a clip on it, and you can clip the handles on so that you can change your resistance. It also has a door anchor, which is really nice for some resistance exercises, and it's got an ankle cuff, so if you want to do things like hip extensions, you can use that. So that's another option if you've got maybe a little bit more money to spend. A kit like this shouldn't cost you more than like $25 online. And it's a nice, handy thing to have if you think that you want a lot of different variations in terms of resistance. Rubber resistance also comes in the form form of a loop mini band. I love these. You can get in a great workout with using just mini bands. They're particularly good for doing lower body exercises. So again, these can be had in, I got these off Amazon, they're Synergy brand, I really like them. 5 different varying resistance levels from light to really heavy. I use these all the time for hip stabilization and glute strengthening. You can also get the fabric loop bands like this. So if you're doing a lot of lower body, the nice thing about the fabric bands is they don't roll when you use them. Sometimes these plastic ones, if you're putting them around your legs, will roll up on you, and the fabric ones don't tend to roll that much. So these are a great add to your home gym, and again, they will not break the bank. Set of 5, probably going to be less than $15 off Amazon, and again, you can find them in your discount stores. I picked up a set for a friend as a gift at Marshall's not too long ago, and I think it cost me like $8 for a set of 4 of them. So good deals can be had on these. The next thing you might want to consider, especially if you're doing a lot of strength training for your home workouts, or you're doing a lot of circuit and HIIT style workouts, is weights. Now, you do not need to spend a ton of money on a whole set of weights, especially if you're just starting out. So depending on what your budget is, I would go with a set of something lighter and a set of something heavier to challenge yourself. And then as you progress, you can always keep adding to what you have in your home gym. So I have weights here in my home gym that range from 2 pounds for bar workouts and things like that, all the way up to, I think the heaviest that I have is 25 pounds in my home gym. And that is what works for me. You're gonna go with what works for you. You do just wanna make sure that you've got something lighter and something slightly heavier that you can move to, just to help challenge yourself as you progress. But you don't need to spend a ton of money. They do sell adjustable weights. So it would be one set of weights, and you can add weight to them to make them different weight loads. Those can be really awesome if you are really tight on space. A note about those though is it can be really tricky if you're doing like a HIIT workout or a very fast moving circuit kind of workout to have to adjust your weight loads as you go. So that's something to think about. But adjustable weights, while they may be a little bit more pricey, you are getting a varying range of weight loads there. So the last little piece of equipment that I wanted to share with you that I actually use all the time for core strengthening work, and it's really inexpensive, is a Pilates ball. So I really like these for my core workouts. It really helps you to engage the core muscles in a different way. You do not need to spend a ton of money for a really high-end Pilates ball. Even a small, slightly squishy playground ball. So if you have kids and they have outdoor playground balls, you can even use one of those. You just want to make sure that it's something that has a little bit of a give to it. These can be found again online for $8 or less, depending on where you are. Amazon has them too. You don't need to spend a ton of money on them. But it's a really nice little tool to have. So this is kind of a like a nice to have home gym piece of equipment. You can do a lot of things with it, and it adds a lot of variety. So these are really just the things that I would want in my home gym to get started. So rubber resistance, a mat, a set of weights, and of course, some space to move around. So I hope that you found this helpful. Now go ahead and find one of my workouts to try using this equipment. I will see you next time